It's funny what people believe, what people are quick to believe. I watch things that go on in society and I look at patterns, and I've learned to take a step back from things emotionally, regardless of how I feel about the situation. It gives you a clearer view on life. If you have the ability to do this, then you'll be able to view life a lot more accurately considering the things that go on in life. And so yesterday you have, shots or well, what was it, July 13th, you have shots being fired at Donald Trump. Apparently got hit in the ear. Very little information is known right now, but then, it is my belief that, the information that is known later on, no one would know anything about. Now, it's interesting what you see about the responses to it, though, because you have a lot of people who are on the Republican side, who are on the side of Donald Trump, that are, rallied up and excited and overly emotional and talking about this picture right here is one in the election and things of that nature, which may be true, you know. And you have other people on the opposite side of the coin who are saying things like, well, this is fake and yada, yada, yada. And, it's a publicity stunt. He did it so he could, get people to want to vote for him, etc. I don't truthfully, I don't even think he had to do something like that. I feel like pretty much the election was in the bag. But then conspiracy theories can come on both ends, right? And that's why I don't even get into elections, because at the end of the day, regardless of who becomes the president next year, is not going to be any bearing on what happens with my life overall. And I feel like we all need to remember that. I mean, we get emotionally involved with a lot of things. When 9/11 happened, people got emotionally involved. I'm sure when JFK got shot, people got emotionally involved. And then information gets released decades later and they go, oh, this is what happened. And all of the people who were involved don't even exist anymore. It's wild. It's interesting. And, even with the incident that just happened yesterday, I look at it and I think to myself, is this fake? Is this something that was staged in order for, him to gain the reaction that he gained? Like, were the people there prepared to take that picture that took the picture? Were, the people that got shot were just a casualty of war? The world is a stage. And everybody's putting on a show. Everybody's putting on a show to some degree. You got to ask yourself the question, am I going to be entertained by the show? Fully invested, like, most people are when it comes to, TV series? Or am I going to look at all the mistakes that are happening in the show? And I'm looking, beneath what it looks like on the surface. I'm recognizing the bad actors in this show. And I'm not going to be entertained by it. I'm not going to subscribe to the BS. It's a question as to whether or not you want to subscribe to it, right? Just like the question of whether or not you want to subscribe to this channel. People, agree with people or disagree with people based off of what it is said about their opinion to be. Did my personal life change overall differently from when, Biden was in office to when Trump was in office? Like, not really. I can't really say either of them had an effect on my life, other than the fact, when Trump was in office, gas prices were extremely low. Price of everything started going down drastically when Trump was in office. And, you look at, what happened, when Biden got in office, all of a sudden we're in two different wars, and we're funding two different wars. It's just insane. And it really makes no sense. But do I allow these things to affect me? Do I watch it for entertainment, or do I get into it and get involved emotionally? Now, watching Candace Owens, and I didn't believe the whole notion of the, the fake getting shot, like, have everything staged. I didn't believe that until I'm listening to Candace Owens talk, and I'm looking at her reaction to the situation on her page. She has a great page. You should go follow it. And, like, I don't know her personally or anything like that, but what I do know is that, when I was watching her, it felt different. Usually when I watch her, I feel motivated, I feel energized, I feel, excited, I feel inspired. But this time, I didn't feel that. I felt like maybe that incident was staged. I don't know. The sad fact is we'll never know. Like I said, the world is a stage and everybody's putting on a show. This could have been staged by Republicans. This could have been staged by, Democrats. Uh, it could have been staged by them both collectively together. And this is why I don't trust the whole voting process of the voting system. I say none of the above. There's no reason for you to vote for any of them. It's not going to change your life. It's just going to change how you feel emotionally about who the actors are. And you guys are watching these shows and you guys are being entertained by these real life shows, by these real life reality shows. It's not on television anymore. Yet it is. It's on everywhere though. And you watch, you get entertained by it. How my thoughts was, when I heard that he got shot. I mean, people get shot every day. It happens. It doesn't. In fact, it's been put out there in media and in social media so much to the point where a lot of people, I believe, are immune to, desensitized rather to the idea of somebody getting shot. I don't feel like it had the same impact as when JFK got shot. I don't feel like it's had the same impact when Ronald Reagan got shot. However, I do see the similarities, and this is why I wonder, you know, like anytime an attempt is made on anyone's life, you can look at 50 Cent, you can look at Ronald Reagan, you can look at JFK, you can look at anybody, whether they lived or died. You can look at them and look at the results of what happened after they became a quote unquote martyr. I don't want to say martyr because thank God, Trump is still alive. He didn't get killed. You know, it's a shame that another individual had to pass away. Um, but it happens. It's a part of life. And so I feel like if it was staged, then, the family of that individual should be outraged, right? But, even furthermore, it just take a step back and look at things. Don't just automatically, jump in and start accusing, oh, this is fake, or jump in and start accusing, oh, this is Antifa, or starting jump accusing, oh, this is staged by, the Republicans to make him look like Ronald Reagan, and that's why he put his fist up at the end and all of this, that, and the third, and because I mean, all those Republicans are going to report it. Or this was an attempt. This was actually an attempt on his life by the Democrats because they don't want him to win because they know for a fact that he's going to beat Biden. Because I mean, the way it looks at it, I mean, anybody that's seen that debate, I mean, anyone that's seen that debate, like, there's no way in the world that he's going to win, and it doesn't look like Biden will step down. And in addition to that, you say to yourself, all right, well, Biden's not going to step down. Biden can't win. What are we going to do? And I mean, in all honesty, I don't think society wants Kamala in there. God forbid we have Gavin Newsom get in there. I mean, we've seen what with California looks like. We don't we need to end homelessness. We need to make sure that people are actually making money, and that's why the individuals that everyone should put their focus on is in their immediate vicinity of the people who are following the values that they want followed, and the people who are actually controlling the things that are going on in your immediate community. That's the importance of who to vote for, not this presidential theatrical event. It's purely theatrical. Focus on everything on a local level. This way you can focus on your quality of your life on a local level. You ever drive around and notice this construction cones up, but nobody's actually working? And then all of a sudden there are no construction cones there. And it's like, y'all just caused traffic jams for weeks, for months, for nothing. Like, this has nothing to do with the president. This has everything to do with the people in your local vicinity. And if these people aren't doing what you need them to do, if people want to give people tickets because they got tent and their car is just parked and it has tent, and you want to give a ticket to that vehicle, get these people out of here. Get them out. They're not doing anything of any value. They're not focused on anything that is of any importance. They say, well, they got the crime rate up in the city. That's because police officers, let's just put this out there right now. Police officers' job is not to stop crime. Now, I've said this time and time again, but y'all don't seem to get it. Like, the job of a police officer is to respond to the crime after it happens. They're not putting their lives in danger, and they shouldn't put their lives in danger. Why should they? It makes absolutely no sense. Police officer wants to collect their paycheck until it's time for them to collect their retirement. But the idea of them going in shootouts with criminals, that's just movies. That doesn't happen in real life. Why do you think there's so many cops in your neighborhood, yet at the same time you hear so many shootouts and the cops, you don't even hear the sirens until after the shots has ceased firing? Like, this is what I mean. Take a step back. Stop being emotionally involved with things. It's not necessarily to defund the police, but it's not necessarily to fund the police because they're not stopping crime. They're just gonna, find out who committed the crime after the crime happens. Just like cameras, they don't stop the crime from happening. They just show you what happened after it happened. Like, look beneath the surface. Learn how to look at the irrational responses from people right now, just a day after Trump was shot, and look how people responded. You look at rappers and people on social media talk about, oh, it was fake, he staged it, and like you got people, on the Republican side saying this is what's going to win him the election. He already won the election. If you weren't paying attention, maybe this solidifies it. But I mean, my goodness, like, in my opinion, I can't see how, anybody, especially after, what has been going on with Biden. He's been sending all of, like, him and Congress, but sending all of this money out to, countries that, we're like, but there are people in this own country that is just not being taken care of. It's just ridiculous. When you hear about wars and when you hear about rumors and wars, don't get all emotionally involved with it. Understand the truth, know the truth, because the truth is what makes you free. And understand the truth in this, you might not ever find out what exactly happened yesterday. You might not. But in the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. I got to focus on, what is right. I got to focus on, what is going on in my vicinity. I got to focus on, how my family is being taken care of because people get shot every day, B.